me making my bass rumble. 4 childhood friends from a working class neighbourhood who became as close as brothers, doing what most people would cut off their right arms to do, unless you were a musician. 4 dreamers who were written off from the start, sticking it to the critics and driving millions of fans crazy. That's why every time I went on stage, right down to the very last gig, I was still that happy kid from the black and white photo. Despite all the aggravation that came with it, there was still no better way to make a living. I bet you can't think of one. Rocket engines burning fuel so fast, up into the night sky they blast. That's Black Sabbath to a T, although only a madman would have predicted the fuel would last as long as it did. 1. All the Sevens. Aston. When I was 6, circa 1955, I had a visit from the future. There I was, tucked up in bed, when I was awoken by a strange glow. I opened my eyes and saw a spinning sphere hovering right above my head. Now from darkness there springs light. I stared into the sphere and saw a man on a stage. He had long hair, silver boots, and was playing a guitar. The only stage I'd ever seen was at school, and that was used for nativity plays. I had no idea what a guitar looked like, let alone a guitar being played by a man with long hair and silver boots. We didn't have a television in those days, and newspapers in England weren't exactly full of pop stars. The sphere hovered for maybe a minute before ducking into the bedroom fireplace and disappearing up the chimney. It sounds like a nightmare, and I suppose it would scare the hell out of some kids, but it didn't seem that strange to me. It didn't take me long to go back to sleep. You might be thinking, blimey, I thought Geezer was meant to be the sensible one in Black Sabbath. How could a working class kid from Birmingham have a vision that he was destined to be a rock star when rock stars didn't even exist in the 1950s? Well, that's exactly what I saw, not just the once. When I awoke hours later, the house was silent and still. The heated brick I used instead of a hot water bottle was no longer wrapped in a towel and was like a block of ice against my feet. In case you were wondering, my mum would heat a brick or piece of iron in the oven, wrap it in a rag or towel and place it in my bed to warm it up, since there was no central heating in the house. If the towel came loose just after you popped it under your blanket, you'd scald your feet and wake up screaming. Wallpaper, loosened by damp, was peeling from the wall next to my bed. I had bites from bed bugs which would appear from nowhere in the middle of the night like a tiny ambushing army. Whenever I squashed one, my blood would splash against the wall, and we were constantly battling those little bleeders with an insecticide called Flit, which probably did us more harm than them. Pretty grim, really, but judging by that sphere, the future looked quite promising, whatever the hell it meant. Hovering spheres and mysterious rock star dreams aside, growing up in post-war Birmingham was gritty. Aston, the inner city district where we lived, was still recovering from the battering it took in World War II. The Luftwaffe had paid a lot of attention to Birmingham. Our house, 88 Victoria Road, was a few miles from the big Spitfire factory in Castle Bromwich, as well as the ICI and Kinnock factories where chemicals and ammunition were manufactured. One bomb damaged the roof of our house, but that was a lucky escape. It landed on the corner of Victoria Road, obliterating 2 houses and a shop. I was born in the front bedroom of that house on July the 17th, 1949. In that same bedroom 20 years later, I'd wake up with the lyrics and bass riff for Behind the Wall of Sleep rolling around my head. That song ended up on Black Sabbath's first album. I was the 7th child of a 7th child, born on the 17th day of the 7th month, 1949, at 7 minutes to midnight. The day after I arrived, my sister Eileen tried to throw me out of the bedroom window. She was 5 and had been the baby of the family until then, so it was a fit of jealous rage. God knows what she might have done if Mum had had any more. My father James and mother Mary were originally from Dublin, Ireland, where my sister Maura and brothers James and Patrick were also born. My eldest sister Sheila was born in Aldershot, where Dad had been stationed with the British Army, while Eileen and my brother Peter were born in Aston, like me. Dad ran away from home when he was 15.
To keep listening to this audiobook for free, click the link in the description. It will take you to a free Audible trial where you can listen to this and many other books for free for 30 days.